Now, the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, is on an indefinite strike effective Monday to protest the non-payment of allowances due its members following the conversion of polytechnics to technical universities. According to the association, government has refused to fully comply with the ruling by the National Labour Commission to ensure that its members start receiving the allowances from December 2019. January 2020 and February 2020. National President of TUTAG, Dr. Solomon Kielsen, said salaries of December 2019 were paid without the said allowances with no official communication to that effect. He believes government is doing everything to create a second-tier public university, even though the National Tertiary Council professes parity of prestige. Well, I've been joined by the National President, Dr. Solomon Kielsen. Thanks to you for your time. You have said TUTAG shall only call off the strike upon the fulfillment of the National Labour Commission ruling on the 28th of October 2019. What progress has been made in resolving this?
Good morning to you, my sister, and good morning to your cherished listeners. I think you have said it all. We are saying that because there was a ruling, there is no need to do any other thing than to ensure that the ruling is enforced and action is taken, because the promises have been too much. We go forward a few meters, then we come backward some other meters. And I think it's about time everything is done and done once and for all for both teachers, students, and technical education to have peace and continue with its work and mandate.
But you say in that statement that they have not fully complied, which suggests that they've done something. What exactly has happened?
What has happened was that when December payment was made, the allowances were not paid. And note that the allowances include allowances for office holders, which includes responsibility and entertainment, and other allowances such as the rent. Now, rent is the one that affects most of the staff, because for most of the staff, they don't hold any of it. And they keep taking 15 cedis as rent per month. And so when the ruling came, it was a big relief, because we are going to move from 15 cedis per month, which cannot pay anything as far as rent is concerned, to 20% of individual gross pay. And so it was a relief to people, and they were expecting it. That has not been done. Some amount has been paid, and even that, not rent, which affects many people, but some allowances that affect office holders. Something has been paid, which our checks indicate that that is not up to the amount that was agreed to be paid.
This strike will obviously affect the university's calendar. Explain to us how this would affect teaching and learning.
My sister, that is true. But you see, the teaching and learning itself has to go with a lot of things. One of them is quality teacher, or if you like, call it qualified teacher. Now, because of disparity in remuneration, people who are trained at the technical university, they come out with their PhD, and they prefer to be in the other universities rather than technical university. And so technical universities are training people for other public universities because of disparity. That must stop. Otherwise, technical education cannot get to the level that it has to get to. So that is an important aspect. So whilst we are thinking of the effect on the students, just think of a teacher who takes 15 cedis for a rent. And assuming the teacher stays in Accra, Takoradi, or Kumasi, and the landlady is demanding for money, how do you pay? And that is why the Labour Commission saw that that is not fair. So go and pay the right thing to the people, and you are dragging your feet. So the students are important, very, very important.
So
if we don't cure it today, it will continue to go forward and backward, forward and backward.
Okay.
We need to do it now.
Let's come back to the specifics of the school's calendar, the university's calendar, because you've said the strike will disrupt teaching, invigilation, and the marking of scripts in technical universities. So what provisions have been made to cater for this?
No, you see, the provision to be made will depend on what happens. Assuming tomorrow, National Labour Commission makes sure that government also go into action, just as the TUTAC has gone into action, then we are going. Monday to tomorrow, the need will be different from when it drags to 1 month. So what has been put in place will depend on how far we go. I cannot stand here now and say this and this is what has been put in place to address the calendar issue.
So per the calendar, where are we at this point? This is January 2020. What is supposed to be happening?
Most of us are either within the exam period or close to the exam period for first semester.
So this is pretty strategic in terms of the action that you've taken. In terms of the action that you've taken?
Oh, not necessarily strategic, but I think it is necessary, if you like. Put it that way, that is necessary. It's not strategic. If we say it's strategic, then it will mean our target is the student. Our target is not the student. Our target is parity of prestige, something that will help the technical universities to maintain their teachers, something that will help the technical university teacher to teach with a very good mind, something that will help the technical education to have students who have recognition like students from any other place.
I guess strategic because you could have taken this action at any other time within the calendar, but this is exam period and exam is absolutely important. But is there a scheduled, there is a scheduled meeting for today? You're meeting the side of government, correct?
No, we are not meeting the side of the government today.
Have you been called since you decided on this action on Monday?
Yes, actually, even today on your other TV station.
On Adon TV.
Yes, I was on the program with the Executive Secretary for National Labour Commission, and he did indicate, as he also communicated to me on phone yesterday, that under the circumstance they want to meet all stakeholders again, and so they were planning that the meeting comes off on Tuesday. I told him, yes, I need to also consult my group, and today he reiterated that on the TV program. And so there has been some communication, at least from the Executive Secretary for National Labour Commission.
Of a possible meeting?
Yes, a possible meeting.
There's also the National Council for Tertiary Education, the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations. Any communication from these two?
No communication. We haven't had any communication with Fair Wages. We haven't had any communication with NCT.
Which of these direct agencies are supposed to be addressing your concerns? Is it Fair Wages? Is it the Ministry of Education?
Oh, you see, Ministry of Education is the direct employer. And so you know, whoever has to do what, finance has to pay. Yes, your employer has a stake in that. And Fair Wages has to work on the rates and the values. And so they have a role to play. NCTE, they work under the Ministry of Education, and for that matter, they also have a role to play.
So finally, sir, what would get you back to campus?
Action, my sister. The promises from 2016 to now is so much that there is no trust anymore. So promises will not be taken this time again, because you see, the last promise that we had was to be enforced by National Labour Commission, and that is why they gave the ruling. And so if National Labour Commission has given a ruling, and that can also not be complied with, then we don't know which promise we can take serious again. So what we are waiting for is action.
And until then?
Until then, the word indefinite, as you saw in the release, continues.
Thank you very much for your time. That's Dr. Solomon Kielsen, and he is National President of TUTAC.